10 mind-blowing geographical oddities you didn't know. What if I told you that our planet is hiding secrets in plain sight? Places where the rules of nature seem to bend, rocks sail themselves across the desert, and a river of blood flows through Antarctica. Are these just tall tales, or are they real places you could actually visit? Well, get ready for a trip to some of the strangest corners of the globe. Today, we're counting down 10 mind-blowing geographical oddities you probably didn't know existed. From impossible illusions to borders that defy all logic, these spots will make you rethink what you know about planet Earth. Oddity number 10. The rocks that sail themselves. Kicking off our list at number 10, we're heading to one of the hottest, driest places on Earth, Death Valley, California. Here on a flat, dried-up lakebed called Racetrack Playa, something truly strange is going on. Rocks, some weighing hundreds of pounds, appear to move all by themselves, leaving long, definite trails in the cracked mud. For the better part of a century, this mystery stumped everyone. No one had ever seen them move, but the tracks were right there. Was it a weird magnetic field, or maybe even aliens? The truth, it turns out, is a perfect and super rare mix of natural events. After a rare rainstorm creates a shallow pond, a cold winter night freezes the water into a thin sheet of ice. As the sun rises, the ice starts to melt and break into huge floating panels. Then, all it takes is a light breeze to push these massive ice sheets, which act like bumpers, slowly shoving the rocks across the slippery mud. This mystery was only cracked in 2014 when researchers finally caught the stone's slow-motion dance on camera for the very first time. Oddity number 9. The road that pulls you uphill. For number 9, let's journey to the rugged Himalayas in Ladakh, India, to a place that seems to defy gravity itself. On a stretch of road known as Magnetic Hill, a bizarre thing happens when you put your car in neutral. Instead of rolling downhill, it looks like it's rolling uphill, pulled by some invisible force. There's even a sign telling tourists exactly where to stop and try it for themselves. So, is it a real magnetic anomaly? Local legends say it's a stairway to heaven, but science has a much simpler answer. It's a powerful optical illusion. The way the surrounding landscape is sloped, combined with a blocked horizon, tricks your brain into seeing a downhill slope as an uphill one. So, while you feel like you're defying gravity, your car is really just rolling downhill like it's supposed to. This kind of gravity hill isn't just in India. You can find these mind-bending spots all over the world, proving just how easily our eyes can be fooled. Oddity number 8, the glacier that bleeds. Coming in at number 8 is one of the most shocking and surreal sights on the entire planet. In the middle of the pure white landscape of Antarctica's McMurdo Dry Valleys, a glacier looks like it's bleeding. A bright crimson-red waterfall, known as Blood Falls, pours straight out of the Taylor Glacier, staining the ice below. When explorers first found it back in 1911, they figured the color must be from some kind of red algae. But the real reason is way cooler. The waterfall is fed by a lake that's been trapped under 400 meters of ice for millions of years. This ancient, super salty water is completely cut off from sunlight and oxygen, which has made it incredibly rich in iron. When this iron-heavy water finally seeps through cracks in the glacier and hits the open air, the iron oxidizes. It basically rusts, turning the water that shocking blood-red color. Even crazier, this hidden lake has its own ecosystem of microbes that survive without any light, giving scientists a peek into how life might exist in extreme places on other planets. Oddity number 7, the waterfall under the ocean. At number 7, we're off to the tropical paradise of Mauritius, home to an illusion so convincing it looks like something out of a fantasy movie. If you look at it from the air, right off the coast of the Le Morne Peninsula, it seems like a massive waterfall is pouring into the deep ocean. You can literally see a torrent of water plunging over an underwater cliff into a dark abyss. But how can a waterfall exist underwater? Simple. It can't. What you're actually seeing is a stunning trick of the eye. The island of Mauritius sits on an ocean shelf that's higher than the deep ocean floor around it. Strong ocean currents are constantly dragging sand and silt from the island's beaches over the edge of this shelf. The different shades of sand and sediment being pulled down into the 4,000-meter deep abyss create the amazing visual of flowing water. So it's not an underwater waterfall, but an incredible sandfall. It's a jaw-dropping illusion you can only really see from the sky. Oddity number 6, the desert's mysterious polka dots. Our number 6 oddity takes us to the dry grasslands of the Namib Desert, where millions of mysterious circular barren patches cover the landscape. They're called fairy circles, and these patches are evenly spaced out, each surrounded by a ring of tough grass. It creates this eerie, polka-dotted pattern that goes on for miles. Local stories say they're the footprints of gods. For decades, scientists have been arguing about what really causes them. For years, two main theories were in competition. One suggested they were made by sand termites who cleared the plants to build underground nests that trap water. The other theory pointed to plants organizing themselves. In this tough environment, grasses are in a fierce competition for water. The stronger grasses on the outside of the circle basically steal all the water from the center, creating the barren patch. But the truth might actually be a team effort. Recent research suggests it's a combination of both. The termites start the process, and the plant competition maintains the circles over time, creating a stunning example of nature's hidden order. We're only halfway through our list, and the world is already looking a lot stranger than you thought. If you're loving this journey to the planet's most mind-bending spots, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. And let us know in the comments which oddity has blown your mind the most so far. Now, back to the countdown. Oddity number 5, the stone that flows like water. For number 5, we're back in the United States on the border of Arizona and Utah to see a geological masterpiece called the Wave. This stunning sandstone formation looks less like rock and more like a flowing liquid sculpture. Its wavy, colorful bands of red, orange, and yellow swirl together, creating a surreal landscape that seems to defy the solid nature of stone. The Wave is made of 190-million-year-old Navajo sandstone, which used to be a massive desert of giant sand dunes. Over millions of years, wind and water carved away at the layers of sand, sculpting the flowing shapes we see today. Those vibrant ribbon-like patterns come from different minerals, like iron and manganese, that settled within the rock over eons. Getting to the Wave is extremely difficult to protect its fragile beauty. Permits are given out through a super competitive lottery. This exclusivity just adds to its mystique, making it a true bucket list dream for anyone lucky enough to see it in person. Oddity number 4, where time itself gets weird. Not all geographical oddities are made by nature. Coming in at number 4 are the bizarre quirks created by us humans in our attempt to control time. Time zone maps aren't neat, straight lines. They're a tangled mess of political and economic deals. Take China, for example. Even though it's wide enough to span 5 time zones, the entire country officially runs on just one: Beijing time. This means that in the far west of China, the sun can be at its highest point in the sky as late as 3 p.m. Then you have the strange offsets. While most time zones differ by a full hour, Nepal decided to set its time 5 hours and 45 minutes ahead of GMT, making sure it's always 15 minutes ahead of its massive neighbor, India. These man-made oddities show how lines on a map can create strange realities on the ground, where taking a few steps could, in theory, send you an hour into the past or future. Oddity number 3, the never-ending lightning storm. At number 3, we head to Venezuela to the spot where the Catatumbo River meets Lake Maracaibo. This place holds a Guinness World Record for having the highest concentration of lightning on Earth. Known as the Catatumbo lightning, this isn't your average thunderstorm. It's a nearly permanent electrical storm that rages for much of the year, historically up to 260 nights, though recent climate shifts have seen that number vary. It can last for 10 hours a night, with lightning flashing up to 280 times an hour. This incredible natural light show is caused by a unique combo of the local landscape and wind patterns. As warm, moist air from the Caribbean Sea moves across the lake, it gets pushed upward by the high Andes Mountains that surround the area on 3 sides. This clash of warm and cool air creates massive, unstable storm clouds that generate almost non-stop lightning. The phenomenon is so bright and reliable that, for centuries, sailors used it as a natural lighthouse, calling it the Beacon of Maracaibo. Oddity number 2, the pathway built by giants. Our runner-up at number 2 is a place where myth and geology spectacularly collide: the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland. Here, about 40,000 massive interlocking basalt columns form a pathway leading from the cliffs right into the sea. Most of the columns are perfect hexagons, and they look so precise that it's easy to believe the legend that a giant built them. The myth says the Irish giant Finn McCool built the causeway to walk to Scotland and fight his rival, Benan Donner. The scientific explanation is just as dramatic. About 60 million years ago, intense volcanic activity pushed molten basalt up through the earth. As this deep pool of lava began to cool and shrink, it fractured into the distinct hexagonal columns we see today, kind of like how mud cracks as it dries. Now, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Giant's Causeway is a breathtaking monument to the powerful forces that shaped our world long before any giants walked the earth. Oddity number 1, borders that defy all logic. And now for our number 1 spot. The most mind-blowing geographical oddities aren't always natural. Sometimes they're the lines we draw ourselves. International borders can create situations so strange they sound completely made up. Take the Diomede Islands in the Bering Strait. Little Diomede is part of the USA, while Big Diomede belongs to Russia. The islands are just 2.4 miles apart, but they're separated by the international date line. This means Big Diomede is 21 hours ahead of Little Diomede. You can literally stand on Yesterday Island and look across the water to Tomorrow Island. Even wilder is the town of Barle, which is split between Belgium, Barle-Hertog, and the Netherlands, Barle-Nassau. The border here isn't a simple line. It's a chaotic mess of 30 different pockets of land, some no bigger than a single house. The border runs through streets, gardens, cafes, and even people's living rooms. A building's nationality is decided by where its front door is, which has led to people literally moving their doors to get better tax rates. These human-made marvels take the top spot because they prove that our own abstract decisions can create the most bizarre and illogical geographies on the planet. From sailing stones to underwater sandfalls, our planet is full of places that challenge our sense of how things are supposed to work. These oddities, whether made by nature's slow and patient hand or by the strange logic of human history, remind us that there's always something new and mysterious left to discover. The world is packed with wonder, and we're just getting started. What other geographical oddities do you know about? Share them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures. Until next time, keep exploring.